today. So I've decided to do a little post about mental health and my journey. I realised I haven't posted about it in a little while, so I just wanted to make sure that I am still speaking about it, because that is one of the things that I am really passionate about, and probably the main reason why I got into personal training in the first place. So I thought I'd do a little video just because it just means that I am open with you lot and it's much more real. Sometimes captions can be misread, or you can't really express everything through words on a caption or a hashtag. I just wanted to speak out, just so if it resonates with you, or if you can recognize any of the symptoms with one of your loved ones, a friend, a colleague, then maybe it'll open your eyes to what they're going through. So, as many of you know, I myself suffer with mental health, and I've had kind of bad bouts of anxiety, and I've also suffered with depression as well. I am currently on antidepressants at the moment, and I'm hoping to kind of come off of those maybe this year, but I'm not putting pressure on it because I know it's quite difficult when you do come off of it, and it's not a problem for me that I am kind of reliant on them at the moment. I've had a lot of changes. I've moved to a new city, so it's kind of understandable why I might need them. But kind of taking it back to the start, I guess I didn't ever really realise that what I had was a mental illness. I just thought, oh, maybe I'm just a little bit overstrung. Like, maybe I just get a bit more stressed out about things that other people don't. So exams, like, I would always be there with Rescue Remedy, having like these panic attacks right before, thinking, oh my goodness, like my heart feels like it's about to pound out through my chest. And I was like, oh, but that's normal. Everyone gets anxious for an exam. Or like public transport, I would overanalyze every single aspect of getting on a train, thinking like, okay, so which station do I need to be on? Well, like where do I need to be? What time do I need to be there? Which seat am I on? Like stressing that someone's going to be sat in my seat, or I'm not going to be able to find it. Am I going to be like, it got to the point where it was so silly. I was nervous the whole way on a train journey, just to like leave for my stop, because I didn't want to interrupt the person next to me on the aisle seat, which is crazy really when I think about it, because all I have to say is, excuse me, can I just get by? I guess it's always been underlying. I just maybe didn't realise what it could be. And then kind of my anxiety got worse. So I started getting like really bad symptoms, and it started affecting my sleep. So I struggled to sleep. It'll be like a constant racing thoughts in my head. I'd just be very restless at night, so I just couldn't get comfortable. I just couldn't kind of relax. And then again, my heart rate was always so high. I'd start sweating for no reason. It's not hot. I'm just nervous. I get the shakes, like adrenaline pumping through me. So I'll just be very kind of alert, but not actually be switched on to anything. So I'd be very distracted and kind of a bit jolty. And then I did go to see a doctor about my anxiety more than anything. But due to my asthma, the medication that was kind of on offer would have affected that. So I was like, oh, wow, I can't really do anything for that then. And then I guess after that was kind of the development of my depression. I wasn't too sure of the difference between them, I suppose. And I just thought, oh, wow, I'm not depressed. Like, that's for people who are kind of in hospital. That's like really serious. Like, I can't be depressed. Like, I'm happy-go-lucky, always bubbly. Surely that's not me. But actually, I got to the point where my self-worth was nothing. And you know, when you become like a shell of yourself and you're kind of just drifting by, that's how I felt. So I wasn't really engaging with anyone. Everything was slightly foggy. So speaking to friends, speaking to family, it's like you're in the room, but you aren't there. So your body is present, but your mind is just not there. And then, you lack motivation to do anything. Like, you really want to be productive, but you just can't find the energy to possibly do anything or even get out of bed some days. So that was really tricky. And then for me, I didn't want to share my burden. I wanted to try and tackle whatever this was, because it's just in my head, right? it's just up there. Why can't you get rid of it? So I was like, well, just think positively, it'll go away. Just think positively. And then you just start getting into this deeper and deeper hole that you can't find a way out. Like, you know that you don't want to be there. You know that you don't want to feel like this. You know you don't want to have to run off every 10 minutes because you just burst into tears. So you have to excuse yourself to go to the toilet so no one goes, Abby, are you okay? Because that's going to set you off even more. So you know you don't want to be this way, but you can't find the coping mechanisms to help yourself. So I think that kind of, I've hit quite low places, I must say. But actually, the best thing I ever did was I think I had a breakdown one day, and it was at a really happy event, which was just ironic because obviously it was at a wedding, everyone's loving the day. I was really happy for the people getting married, but I was there surrounded by everyone who's singing, dancing, having a drink, being merry, and I was like, I can't put on that brave face anymore. I'm just exhausted. So I just had a bit of a breakdown, a bit of a moment, and I spoke out. I spoke to my parents. I said, I need help. Like, I can't continue like this. I'm obviously not coping on my own. I need help. I spoke to my partner, who's been really supportive as well. I spoke to my friends, and some of which have similar experiences to me, which was great, because I was like, I'm not alone. Like, I'm not crazy. This isn't all in my head. Like, actually, it's a worthwhile illness, just because it's not a physical one or one that can be easily diagnosed, that actually it is just as important. And a lot of people, so many people suffer with it. It was reassuring more than anything. And then after that, I got counselling, and that was amazing. It was really eye-opening and a great way to kind of look at mental health through, I don't know, a different lens. And I think one of the greatest things I took away from that was actually thinking about now, the present. The past has happened. Yes, it's shaped me, it's formed me. The future, I worry about too much. But some of it is in my control, but a lot of it isn't. So I need to only focus on the stuff that I have got control over, and I can't stress about the stuff that I literally don't have control over, because it's wasted. I'm just stressing for no good reason. So what I need to think about is me in the moment and me at this time, because otherwise I'm just kind of, as I said, I'm drifting. I'm not really existing in the present. I'm just kind of, I don't know. So that was such good advice for me to take away. And I did find that really helpful. And then I went off travelling with my best friend Ree. Loved that. It was a hard experience. It was really difficult, but it was an amazing one. And then I came back, and I think I lost myself a little bit. I was like, what am I going to do? I now had to figure out my career. And there was so much pressure on, like, well, what are you going to do with your life? And that mostly from myself, like, what's your value? What's your worth? Like, what's your purpose in life? I was putting so much pressure on myself to kind of have all the answers all at once, which is silly, because life is constantly evolving and things change and circumstances change. So I shouldn't have to explain myself to anyone or have it all figured out. But yeah, so I hit quite a low place again when I came back, to the point where I was just crying for no good reason. It was uncontrollable. I just felt numb, like literally I just didn't feel anything apart from this empty kind of numb sensation, and it was horrendous. So that's when I went to the doctors, and I was like, actually, counselling was great. I have taken away coping mechanisms, but this moment in time, I need something a little bit extra because I'm not coping. I am not coping, and I can't see a way out. And that's when I got put on my antidepressants, which I am still on. And I was a bit worried because obviously everyone's like, oh, you don't want to get stuck on those. Like, there's a lot of kind of stigma around antidepressants and drugs and things like that. So I was anxious, to say the least. But actually, I am still the same person. I have that little bit more control over my emotion. I'm just a little bit more reasonable, and I think things through much more instead of just reacting like that. So I think it's a good balancing tool for me. And as I said, hopefully soon I can kind of wean off of them a little bit, but I'm not in a major rush because, as I said, I have had a lot of change, which I know is a trigger for me. So once I feel kind of comfortable and settled, then maybe that's something I think about. And I know that the doctors said that it's always better to come off of them in spring because obviously the nicer weather, things like January and February, let's be honest, are pretty shit. So I definitely don't want to be coming off of them then. So yeah, we will see. But no, sorry, I've kind of gone on for probably about 10 minutes chatting about me, but the whole reason I've done this is to share my story, to speak out, to raise mental health awareness, but also for anyone to come speak to me, speak to your loved ones, speak to a doctor, speak to a professional. Don't suffer in silence. Too many people do, and then it leads to awful things. So no, please just send me a message, anything, and it would be great to hear from you and just hear your experiences too. But yeah, no, I hope you took something away from it, and thank you for listening.